So exit planning, what are buyers looking for and how can you start prepping now? So having been through this experience and getting very, very close to getting across the line, I can give you some unique insights. So first of all, they look for profits. So EBITDA, profit before taxation, that's the first one. So as a very crude valuation for an agency, you're looking 3 to 5 times EBITDA. For software, probably more like 5 to 10. It used to be higher, but those are sort of similar multiples. They look for predictable revenue. So as an acquirer, they are basically buying your future revenue, access to future revenues. They need to assess exactly what that's likely to be, probably over a 3 to 5 year period, to get a feel for the period of time that they're going to be acquiring the business, getting their money back in the door, and then being profitable. So first of all is profit before taxation. Secondly, they need to look at who's actually owning and operating the business. So is the person who's selling the business going to stay for a period of time? That's called an earn-out, where they're incentivized, they're on a nice salary. Are they going to stick around and help to run the business? Secondly, are they looking at bringing in additional management, or is there a reliable layer underneath the owner operator who could potentially take over and run the business? So how many kind of really reliable adults are in the company? And then they're going to dive into things like your intangibles. So do you have copyright? Do you have branding? Are you well established in the market? Do you have marketing funnels that generate income? What does the website generate as an asset? Because that's really valuable as part of the deal. I've done videos about that as well. Have a look at those. And then they're going to dive into things like your customers themselves. So do you have high client concentration? So 1 or 2 clients that represent a very large proportion of your profit and income, that's potentially an issue. And then things like your retention. How long are you holding on to customers? How long are they contracted for? What's the average tenure, lifetime value? Those are the kind of data points they're going to be diving into. So things that you can do. Build in a management layer that are reliable. Get yourself, as the owner operator, far away from sales and marketing as you can. Start to bring in other people so that it's not as much friction when somebody potentially takes over. Look to incentivize longer term value for customers, retention. So discounts, sign-ups, bonuses, upsells, those are also really important to stacking value. And then make sure that your assets, your marketing, your funnels are absolutely tuned up. And the last thing, your website, make sure it's actually generating you valuable data, insights, and leads that you can convert. Those things are really, really valuable. Having all of that up to scratch and ready to go will increase the value that you're going to get on exit.